Okay, Coach, we are just west of downtown Denver off of I-25 at Empower Field at Mile High. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Nick Chubb, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go with Chubb on second down. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before he gets to the Broncos' 35-yard line. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Off of play action, Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns.
Makes the score Browns 7, Broncos nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. Out of the shotgun, Breida. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Taylor. Open receiver. That's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. Oh, now Breida loses it. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue, just make sure you feed me the football? And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Darnold. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Person. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
64. We got to step it up. Check three.
On first down, Darnold. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Right over there. Yeah. Lady, right there. We got to get the ball. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
Ready. Switch gears. Watch out.
Back to throw, Darnold. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Check 25. Check three.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Tackle made by Rasheem Green.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Taylor to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight. Go down. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. To throw again, Taylor. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball, and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks,
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
50, Max, 50. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
A first down throw, Darnold. It's caught by OBJ. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
14, Broncos nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Second and 10 now from the 27.
I'm coming for you. You
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10.
Let's go. 60 yards. Let's go, D. Let's go. Go.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they face a 3rd and 15 here following the delay of game.
Edwards got four down.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And that will be incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He's going to field this at the 4. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Whitfield. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now this throw caught left side. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run on 1st down. It's back. And he's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 30.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st down, Beck. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that is incomplete here. There on the coverage, knocking that one away, was Mike Edwards.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
And you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Here we go. Set. Get the under the ending. Watch the run. Watch the run. Motion backfield. Motion backfield. 57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Here's Taylor, operating from the gun. That'll be complete to Breida. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game.
And Darnold, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On 2nd down now. It's Beck, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Darnold from the gun. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, it's Beck, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Darnold now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Darnold completes it. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Over the middle, complete. It's Person. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost, and now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Darnold to throw again. This will be caught at about the 6. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Throwing again is Darnold. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Taylor now from the gun, he'll throw, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here we go, and reset. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Taylor. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Taylor. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, it's Taylor. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Check Mike 57, Mike 57. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant.
From the red zone now, here's Taylor on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They go play action now. Taylor. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw again is Taylor. That's caught. It's Malone. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. And that is going to be incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Check. We're going to start. Check. 52's to Mike. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
On 2nd down now, Whitfield. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Come on. Go, 80.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this 2nd half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the 1st half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Oh, the NFL scoreboard elsewhere. 3rd quarter down in Arizona. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the 2nd half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This will be fielded at the 17. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll keep it on the ground. Beck trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. It's complete downfield, out left to his running back. And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a give right side. Whitfield. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Whitfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more.
Makes the score Browns 31, Broncos nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Another run by Lindsey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play with the score Browns 31, Broncos nothing.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Taylor. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Taylor operating from the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
57's the mic. Watch this.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Taylor from the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Beck, and he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now, there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Here's Jamie Gillendow as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield.
Take 4. Cut.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Open man there is Malone. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Taylor to throw. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
The Broncos on 3rd down. It's been a problem, just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Beck, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Beck. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Here's Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Slam, slam.
They'll keep it on the ground. Beck. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On 2nd down, it's Beck. Uses the stiff arm. A tough run, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
You better be afraid of me.
On 3rd down, it's Beck. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 16-yard line.
We're outside. 56, Mike, 56. Here we go, D, get off the field.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good.